driving in my 83 Mustang GLX today, and it's interesting that a lot of people don't know much about what I call the forgotten Mustangs, which are the Mustangs that existed between 1979 and 1986. Most people, when they think of Fox bodies, they're actually thinking of the Aero Design or whatever, the 87 through 93. And let's be honest, they're good. They're a lot better looking car than these 4Is. I actually personally like a 4i Mustang, but the 4i was the car. The reason I like it was the car that was around when I was a kid. So by the time I graduated with high school, Fox bodies that was the last year they just switched to the SN95s. So they were a new car. I didn't live in an area where people had a lot of free money, so people didn't own a lot of new cars. So the few people I knew that had Mustangs, they were already older, like this, and they were the 4i Mustangs. So one of the things also a lot of people don't really know about was the GLX line of cars for Mustangs. So in the 80s, Lee Iacocca had left Ford and went to Dodge, and he created the K sort of series cars. And one of the cars was the Dodge LeBaron, or Chrysler LeBaron, and they actually were convertible. They were popular. So the GLX Mustang is really nothing more than to compete with the Rivieras, the Buicks, and the LeSabre cars. By 83, or before 83, there was no convertibles available in the Mustang line. There was about 9-10 years when they stopped making them to re-release. So I personally think Ford just used the opportunity for the GLX to sell convertibles and charge people more money. In 83, if you were to buy a non-GLX convertible, you actually had to buy a pretty high-end car. If you ever go back and look at the marketing material for the GLX, at least you could have got it with a 4-cylinder, which I don't know why you would have. And you could have got it with a manual and, you know, some stuff like that, which you could not do on the just flat convertible. You can only do with the GLX. So the GLX were higher end cars. They usually had leather. They usually were an automatic, and you know, had things like at that time, which, you know, variable speed windshield wipers, which if you have a car that still works, good luck, because they break. They had, you know, power windows, power locks, things that are now commonplace. Those were considered upgrades at the time. Oh, the car just stalled on me, don't know why. I guess it's still cold. And so when you look at an 83 GLX, you'll see a lot of them out there, specifically in convertibles, because they were the better deal to get the convertible. And that's the only reason they're really out there. If you look at like 82, and they were only available in 82 and 83, there really wasn't a lot of cars out there. It's actually rare. Versus an 83, pretty much anybody that went out and bought a convertible, it was a GLX. They had better deals on them. They were heavily in the lots. It was Ford's excuse to charge you a lot of money to get you back into a convertible. So one of the things that's also interesting is the average car was a 3.8 liter, which this car is. If you see a 5.0 out there, they're actually rarer than people realize. And the reason why is the GT was a better line of car, in my opinion, if you wanted the V8. Most people that bought a GT, they didn't want an automatic. They didn't want, you know, the extra leather upgrades. They didn't care about all the upgrades. And while the interior was upgraded on a GT, you didn't have to get this type of styling of leather. So if you were getting a GLX 5.0, which is a rare car, they usually didn't come with dual exhaust. They didn't sound like it. They didn't sound like a GT at all, in fact. They had some other weird quirks and stuff like that that a lot of people didn't like. And not only that, you know, it came with a 3-speed automatic, which these are dogs. I mean, if you really were wanting a V8, I don't know why you would buy one with a 3-speed. The modern transmissions have gone so much, which this car here, since it's an 83, you're talking, what, 35, 36 years almost now. That's an old car by today's standards. So when you look at it, the GTs were the better value if you just wanted a horsepower. If you got a GLX and a 5.0, I guess maybe you had money and you wanted a little bit of luxury, you didn't care how the car sounded, or maybe you just happened to get a better deal or something like that, or that was the only GLX on the lot. So that is nothing more than what a GLX is. It's just a luxury line of Mustang designed to compete with LeBarons and the Buick Rivieras. It was available from 82 to 83. Again, you could buy an LX in 84 and get all these options. You could get a car just like that. They just weren't a standard option pack like they were.